welcome back to Why This Film, the podcast where we delve into your childhood, pick out a movie, and have a good old chat about it. I'm Emily Slade, and welcome back.
You watched it so many times before, and now you're gonna watch it again. But it's been so many years since you last saw it, and now you show it to your friends, and they're like, What?
What am I watching?
Why this film?
And I'm joined today by Shannon King.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And your choice of movie is Barbie in the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Of course.
IMDb breakdown says King Randolph sends for his cousin Duchess Rowena to help turn his daughters, Princess Genevieve and her 11 sisters, into better ladies. But the Duchess takes away all the sisters' fun, including their favourite pastime, dancing. So, your relationship with this movie?
Oh, I watched it when I was younger, much younger. It was probably the first Barbie movie I ever saw.
Nice.
And I loved it. And I wanted to be the princesses.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize until I was rewatching it that Barbie was like the main character in every film, just playing a different person. I had no clue.
What did you think?
I just thought it was someone who looked the same and kind of sounded the same. I did, because I was like, oh, she can't be Rapunzel and the Genevieve. Like, she can't be all these people.
Yeah.
But she is. I think
is.
she has, like, there's probably some conspiracy theory about multiple personality disorder out there or something.
Yeah, I mean, this... So I had never seen this movie. I'm a little bit older than you,
Right.
so Barbie wasn't really my... I was like a teenager when the Barbie movie started coming out. So this
Yeah.
was 2006. So
Right.
I was like 16,
I was
something
like
that.
8.
Yeah. So they weren't really what I was watching. But a couple of years ago, when I was unemployed, I bought the multi-pack of the Barbie movie.
Because why not?
Because why not? It was 20 quid. And yeah, and I, with the intention to go through and review them.
Right.
And I did. I did the first like 3. And this is like
This
the
is like,
fifth
yeah,
one.
something like that.
So I didn't quite get to this one, which was good. But hot take, Barbie movies are fucking great.
They're so good.
They're so good.
They're so good.
Like,
there's so much depth to this story.
genuinely, they're so entertaining. They're so funny. Like, the animation is, you know, it's not the Lion King,
Yeah,
but it
sure.
it holds up because it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's just not that good either.
Yeah, and it's for like a particular demographic as well. Nobody who's watching this is talking about the cinematography.
Exactly. And they are trying to make them look, I think, like the plastic dolls.
Yeah.
I wanted every single Barbie doll.
I had so
watching
many.
this movie.
I had
was like,
so many.
I want them all. I had the Barbie and the Nutcracker. Have.
No, I got rid of all mine, I think, but I had a shoe holder stuffed in, like, there were 3 Barbies in, like, each of them. That's what, like, 24 times 3? That's an insane amount of Barbies. And they weren't cheap either.
They were not cheap. I go to, well, R.I.P., but I used to wander the aisles of Toys R Us and
Yeah, and, like, pick out.
shooketh at how much the Barbies were.
It's a full aisle. Yeah, this movie is a little dated because of the whole theme of they need to be true princesses, so that's why they bring in the Duchess and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, my daughters aren't. Well, okay, question. The accents in this do not align. I was so confused.
Okay, so we'll start at the very beginning. A very good place to start, and we will go through and we will mention the accents because, right.
It doesn't line up. It does not line up. And did you know the Duchess is Catherine O'Hara?
Oh, I did.
Which I know her from Home Alone.
Yeah, and Beetlejuice.
And Dog
She's in
Show.
Schitt's Creek at the moment.
Yeah.
She was in both mediums of
I was
series of
like-
unfortunate events. Right, the cast in the Barbie movies. Most of them you've never heard of, but there'll be one person that you're like, what the fuck? What is Kelsey Grammer doing
Yeah,
in this
exactly.
movie? Like, they get some good names in there.
Yeah,
some
exactly.
solid voice actors.
And you know Barbie, I mean, she's been what?
She's been Barbie.
She's making bank.
her
Like,
entire
she's making...
She probably has her own Barbie dream house.
I'm sure she does.
in every state.
She's making
and
a
every
shit ton of
country.
money. And she doesn't do really anything else.
No.
She does like a
doesn't
couple
need to.
other voice things.
Mhm.
And she's a part of a theater company since 2005. But I'm like,
Yeah.
how accurate is this Wikipedia page
Yeah.
that I looked at? Yeah, it was interesting.
It's great. It's a great job. So we open And it's nice. There's some like credits and the right. I'm gonna mention the music now, and then I'm gonna mention the music like every 10 minutes because the music in this movie. There's like this one motif that's like their dancing motif.
Oh, when it started playing, I remembered it immediately.
You
like the movie opened,
that.
and I was like, "Whoa, I know this."
I love that.
I was like, "Oh."
Something was awoken inside of you.
I mean, I'd seen it so many times.
Yeah,
it's not a bad song. It's lovely. It's nice.
Honestly, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Like the music, this little motif. It'll come to me. It's like a mixture of like 3 things that I know.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful. Like I went on a whole journey with this bit of music. You wait, my notes are like 4 pages long. So this music's playing and instantly I'm like, oh my god, this is lovely. This is really nice. I'm excited for this movie.
Exactly.
And then the first voice actor comes in and he's like the king's advisor.
Right.
Where is he from?
I don't know.
He's like, hello, Mr. King. We advise about the princesses now, yes? And it's like, but the king is like, yes, I think we should do that.
Yeah. And I was like, you're your daughters are American. Who are you? I'm curious because, you know, the mom obviously passed away. I'm curious what her accent would have been. Because, like, I don't get it.
All over the place. So he was, like, Eastern European. So initially I was like, okay, maybe because it's a grim fairy tale.
Yeah.
And what was nice was the grim fairy tale focuses on this soldier, whereas this movie, obviously, because it's Barbie, gives the story back to the women. So whilst it's stated in some ways, it's kind of empowering in others. Kind of.
A bit.
So he's from like Eastern Europe, and we get introduced to all the different princesses. And honestly, as they like all came in one by one,
well, who was your favorite?
The one with the book, obviously. She's wearing like a blue dress. She's got brown hair. Yeah. She's like the Belle prototype.
See, I liked her name's Blair. She's the super pale one. And when I was a kid, I was like, she's pale and she's a princess. I could be a princess.
That's what's so nice about this movie. There's a princess for everyone. Yeah. I mean, I say everyone. Not if you're anything other than white.
Right, yeah, sure.
Or skinny.
Yeah.
Or, but like, you know.
It's fine.
There's one that you're like, I want that doll.
Yeah, that's how I was. And it's never Barbie.
Never Barbie.
Why does no one want to be that poor woman?
She's the most generic one, that's why.
But she was always late. She had a flaw.
She had a personality.
She had something that wasn't just plastic.
Yeah, I mean, they do sort of blend in. So you've got like the eldest ones, which were hot. They were like really hot designs. You got the pale ones. There's a pair of twins that look like sort of Cindy's age.
Yeah.
Then there's like the Kelly. Is it Kelly? The like baby one. Shelly?
I don't remember. It's Kelly. I don't know.
But there's a trick.
The youngest one, yeah.
Barbie's in the middle.
Yeah, she's 16 in this.
Yeah. So, yeah, the eldest is probably like 18. But on that, there's a picture of the mum in the hallway.
Right.
So this mum gave birth to 12 children, has a backstory, and has died. And this picture makes her look the same age as the eldest daughter.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
And the daughter's
Unless they took a painting from when she was like 21.
Yeah, from when she was like first out in society or something. Which, you know, it could be
fair.
But looking at the age of the king as well, he was no like Maurice.
No, he was like 60 probably. 65. And he's dying. Well, no, she's poisoning him.
Being spoilers.
Oh yeah, sorry. My bad. Well, when they did the poisoning thing, I was like, that's a bit dark for Barbie.
Barbie is not afraid to go there.
Barbie
goes
herself is ready for it.
She's ready for action.
She's introducing kids to poisoning people and death and sickness.
Literally. And they're funny. The Barbie movies are funny. My third note here is Barbie movies are lols.
They are.
Like, they really
The Desmond guy.
Oh, Desmond.
I hated him when I was a kid.
I'm not surprised.
Hated him. And the Duchess. I mean, of course, you're meant to hate them.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're like your worst nightmare.
They do such a good job. So The princesses are a bit wild. Well, they're not at all.
No, they're not. They're
just like living their lives.
They're reading books instead of curtsying.
Playing croquet. Like, that's perfectly fine.
And then
They
the
all live
Duchess
in the
is
same
like
room.
the Miss Hannigan of Barbies.
Oh, the Miss Hannigan. She literally, so she rolls up and it's, sorry, just pour my wine. So the king is like, holy shit, what do I do? These kids are out of hand. So he gets in his cousin, who is Catherine O'Hara, as we said, of Home
Which
Alone,
is so weird.
Beetlejuice, Schitt's Creek.
She was in
Susan
Nightmare
Richmond.
Before Christmas as well.
Yeah, she was
And Over the
Sally.
Hedge.
Yeah, she's
I had no idea she did that
fucking-
much voice work.
everything. And she's so good.
Yes, she is.
So her intro is like legit. You get the carriage,
Yeah.
and it's all low
And she's in
shots.
grey.
She's in grey with this like evil cat's eyes and makeup, and she's got a pet monkey, and you know they're always evil when there's a monkey.
Oh, that monkey can suck a
Suck
stick.
a dick. That monkey. The
He's
minute I saw that
horrible.
monkey, I was like,
Fuck you. No, he's awful. And what was, I mean, not to be rude to Catherine O'Hara or anything, but what was her accent about?
So I
was
think-
it like just the regalness of it made it sound somewhat British but still American?
Yeah, so she's like doing RP, but like American
It's
RP.
so weird.
So it's like, you must all get ready for the banquet.
It's like Downton Abbey set in San Francisco or something weird like that. It was weird.
It was very strange. I was here for it because
Yeah, it was great.
Completely, she's like all in grey. She's very regal, very aristocratic. She's got this horrible pet monkey. She comes in and she basically puts all the princesses in grey, takes all their colours, and gets them to like
it's awful.
learn how to use a fan. And
I know.
Stuff. Just really pointless stuff. And she.
I
and-
remember that from when I used to watch it, but I don't think I watched that this time because I watched it on YouTube in like 32 clips of 4 minutes. So maybe that was like during the transition.
Yeah.
But I do remember that when like they couldn't do
yeah,
it.
they can't do the fans, and she keeps getting their names wrong. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Rude.
Such a
She's
she's horrible.
We've also met. What's his name?
Desmond?
No, I want to say Derek. What's the Ken
The
doll
Prince man.
called?
It might be Derek. I think it is Derek. But yeah, we met him, and he's, you know, what every girl wants or whatever.
Yeah, it's Derek. It's Derek.
He's a shoemaker.
Yes, he's a shoemaker, and he
Which,
brings them.
just FYI, no one can crack out 12 pairs of beautifully made point shoes in a night. Like, that's impossible.
like for 12 different feet.
Yeah,
as well.
and multiple times as well.
Yeah.
They're like, Derek, we're done with these. Could you make us some new ones, please? And then he gets rid of his horse.
Yeah, for love.
He's whipped. That's what he is. He's whipped.
So I went on a whole journey with Derek as well. So he turns up and he's a Ken doll. That's what he is. He's
And
the
he has
only
no
Ken
money
doll.
and blah, blah, blah.
And so, yeah, he's cute and he's young, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm meant to find this Ken doll attractive,
Yeah.
but I don't.
The brunette Ken.
It's fine. Yeah, brunette Ken. And he makes these shoes for the princesses. And he's got a parrot,
Yeah. A talking parrot.
a talking parrot.
When none of the other animals talk.
They do, but not to their human.
Right, but the parrot definitely. Well, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense because it's a parrot. Okay, yeah.
You can kind of get away with it.
Okay.
So the parrot is voiced by a Canadian, but his accent is.
I know.
I'll just play a clip here.
Yeah.
I will just find a clip
Yeah.
of the parrot's accent and play it because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no. Me neither, and I'm not. No, I'm gonna steer far away from that. It's bizarre.
2006 had its problems, I guess.
I don't know who took that idea into a board meeting and someone went, yes.
Yeah, like, why?
I don't
Why?
know.
Why?
I don't know.
Representation? What? Why?
I don't know, it's a parrot.
It's parrot.
So bizarre.
I taught him everything he knows. Are you kidding? He burned the midnight oil for you. You blew your chance, Romeo.
Genevieve's got a little cat that
Yeah.
thinks it's a tiger called like
Tilly, something like that.
Toulouse or something.
Yeah.
Something
Something weird.
fancy and weird. And the parrot's called Felix, and all the animals interact throughout, which isn't too bad actually.
No, it's
Like, I
fine.
never
It's
get
just the monkey's a bitch.
fucking dickhead.
Awful.
So yeah, that poor mother.
Oh, I know.
Like they line up all the children, and you see just how many over the course of how many years there are of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
You were
God,
never not pregnant for like
your
over a
entire
decade.
life. Like her poor vagina.
No, yeah, I could. No thanks.
No wonder she's dead.
Maybe they're all
She's
adopted.
probably split in half somewhere.
Maybe they're all adopted.
They all have the same face though, so.
Yeah, that's very true.
Catherine O'Hara has been super mean to them, and it's the triplets' birthday, and they sing this sweet little song, and they're all like having a good time.
And then she bursts in. And I remember watching it and I was like, she's gonna burst in about 2 seconds. Like, I knew exactly what was gonna happen every single time.
Amazing.
It was so
I love
sad.
that.
Yeah, and it's tragic. They don't let them have a birthday.
It's so sad. She's like, that's not important. We need to learn etiquette.
Yeah, and then they don't see their dad on their birthday because he's sick, because she's poisoning
she
him.
keeps giving him tea, and I'm like, and then like furtive glances to the camera where she's like,
yeah, exactly.
and you're like, something's fishy.
You're awful.
What's going on?
Oh, and then, okay, I did have one weird moment where the doctor came back after, and she was like, oh, well, he's probably sick because of his broken heart. And the doctor puts the medicine back in his bag, and he's like, well, nothing can fix that. And it's like, what do you mean? You have no idea.
Symptoms.
Yeah, he's being poisoned.
He's like pale and shaking.
Yeah.
Give him medicine.
He's like, oh, well, here's the cure. Oh, well, no, he's too far gone.
Save this for someone else. This lavish kingdom clearly is running out of medical
still in
supplies.
love. I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Which does indicate that the Queen died quite recently, but not recently enough that they should still be in mourning attire. And the children, the youngest children, have just turned 5. So
they probably didn't really know her. They won't remember. I don't really remember anything when I was 5.
No, exactly. Least of all adults that were in your life.
Right.
That were possibly sick and kept in a room somewhere.
Yeah,
God,
exactly.
Dark.
Quite dark.
But they get given a book. It's their mum's favourite book. It's the book of The Dancing Princess, which is essentially the original fairy tale, but not. But it's the movie. It's kind of meta.
Yeah.
And they suddenly realise that the flagstones in their bedroom match the covers on their book. And honestly, like,
Were you pumped? You were like, heck yeah.
I've got in caps lock, this is so charming. Like, Barbie figures out that
The dance.
you have to dance on the flagstones in a particular order.
Yeah.
And then they melt away and become a staircase that leads down to a magical kingdom.
Yeah.
And it's fucking great.
And then they can dance, and they have these magical powers where they can say, I wish I had anything, and it happens. It's
And
sick.
all they wish for is like shoes and
Yeah.
instruments. But you know what?
Yeah.
Power to them.
And then the youngest one gets the magic.
So
water.
she scrapes her knee,
Yeah.
and it like she falls over, and we look at her knee, and obviously there needs to be an injury so we can justify introducing the like magic
Right.
water. But it looks really bad.
Yeah, I know.
For a Barbie movie that
Like,
where it
no!
was pink and glittery, I was
She's
like,
dying.
fuck. But she's okay. She's okay.
Yeah.
She's sad. She's got her little like, character arc where she's like clumsy and
She's like,
worried
why
about everything.
can't I do anything
and,
right?
And Barbie's like, just bide your time and maybe you'll, I don't know. I don't
Save
know,
your dad's life?
Save the day. I don't know. Let's just keep thinking about that with it. Honestly, for a movie that is 1 hour and 22 minutes, there is a lot of plants and payoffs
there
and
is.
callbacks and like just good character arcs.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially with how many times the Duchess makes Desmond stand outside the door and make sure the princesses haven't left. And no one goes in or out because every morning they're tired and their shoes have been danced on.
Yeah.
So she's figuring out something happens. And that was like a good 20 minutes of the film of just like Desmond being like, I was here all night. And she's like, well, no, you weren't. And it just keeps happening over and over.
It's so good. So Desmond is the henchman to Duchess Rowena, which is Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
And he's funny, but I imagine as a child I would have been a bit threatened by him.
Yeah.
He's quite
He's
big and
huge.
hench.
Yeah.
And he's wearing all grey.
And he's doing everything, and he's like, just like rough and tough. And
yeah.
and he's weirdly in love with the Duchess.
Classic.
It's just like,
Trope.
come on, man.
Yeah.
Grow a
Anyone
pair.
else.
Yeah.
would be better.
Yeah,
than that.
exactly.
So
He's not very
Desmond.
good at his job either.
Very poor at his job. Like, well, no, maybe don't be in the bedroom because that's a bit creepy. But you know, if you really wanted to figure out what was going on,
Well, yeah, the monkey does.
yeah, the monkey sorts that shit out. Because
Yeah.
he's a dick.
Yeah.
Fucking monkey. Yes. So they keep sneaking down, they keep going down, and they dance, and then they'll come back up and they'll be tired and they'll have to finish their etiquette. The monkey keeps breaking into the room to try and figure out what's going on, and he finds the shoes that are worn out, and when he first goes into it, he's rummaging through their stuff, and he picks up a music box, and he, like, plays it for a bit, and he's like, oh, that's lovely. And then he smashes it on the ground.
I know, he's like such a twat. Like, come on, man.
I gasped out loud. I was like, oh, he just broke their music box. Like, I was fully invested. And the little cat is trying to stop the monkey.
Yeah, she's making her way. She's doing okay at that. Not great.
Not great because he's like a kitten.
Yeah.
But it's her best. So Catherine O'Hara lines them all up and she's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Why are all of your shoes fucked? You just got them yesterday.
And they tell the truth.
And they fucking tell the truth. I'm like, shut up, Lacey! It's a secret kingdom!
Yeah, but to be fair, okay, that makes a lot more sense, yeah. But to be fair, the fucking Duchess, she was like, stop lying to me, you twats! Like, come on, the Magic Kingdom.
A magic staircase.
And then when she finds out way later that they were telling the truth, like, that's all she says. She's like, oh, they weren't lying.
Yeah,
like, that should have been a bigger reaction.
Like, there's a whole level of, like, information from this Magic Kingdom that, like, is just, you know, glanced over, like, where did this kingdom come from?
Yeah.
Who is in charge of it?
Exactly.
Is it just known to the royal, like, family on the mum's side? Has
I'm
it
sure the
been
dad didn't know about
before?
it.
Like, what? It has magic water that can...
Yeah, why aren't we moving here?
Life.
Like, why have we not moved everyone here?
That grant wishes.
Yeah.
It's very, very great. Dancing is sexy is something I've got down here. Because Ken finds his way down Derek's side.
And he's not surprised
He's
either.
like,
He's like,
nice.
oh, they must be down here.
Yeah.
Let's just check it out, why don't we? It's so weird.
And there's a whole implication that him and Genevieve are in love.
Yeah.
Because it's Barbie and
Right,
Ken.
of course.
And he goes down and he dances with Barbie, and honestly, it's really sweet.
No, I know, because I remember one of the sisters goes like, you have to dance together, how romantic. I was literally sitting in my room and I was like, I said it out loud with her. I was like, I remember this so well. I was like, how romantic. I was like, yes, Barbie, you go, girl.
It is romantic. I
Oh,
was
it is.
like
It's lovely.
grinning while I was watching it. Yeah, I've literally got a note here that says, I nearly cried. This music is great. Because the little music motif
It
comes
is.
back in when
Yeah.
they dance together on the flagstones.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine O'Hara finds her way down. She
Yeah.
steals one of the lilies, so she's got the power.
Right.
And she's like, right, fuck these guys, we'll just trap them down here forever.
Yeah.
Goes upstairs, kills the king.
Yeah.
Kills
No,
him.
first though, that she makes herself queen
Yeah,
by tricking
he
him.
signs
Yeah.
everything over while he's still sick, and then she gives him this last teacup,
And she's like, and then she says it out loud. She's like,
yeah, she's like, goodbye forever.
Yeah, and he's
cousin."
like, what have you done?
And then the teacup like drops to the floor and smashes.
Like
I
a
was
Snow
like,
White moment with the apple.
Yeah, it literally is. I was like,
You did
dead.
Oh, I know. Oh, I forgot how much of a
It's-
surprise that would have been.
Yeah, it's so dramatic. Because you always think in kids' movies they're never gonna.
Unless
take
they're
that
not
step.
already dead, yeah.
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 They're either pre-dead or
Most
like,
of them, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one married
only allowed
parent. Yeah.
one parent if you're in a child's animated movie
Yeah.
from the 90s to the late 2000s.
Exactly. Or not even a parent, just an evil step-parent.
Yeah. There's like 3 Disney characters that have both parents. They're getting a bit better now.
3 out of like a ridiculous
like
amount.
100.
That's insane. They just got lazy. They just didn't want to create any more characters.
Yeah.
They're like, you just get a dad. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The mum would ask too many questions
Yeah.
and not let you do this.
Exactly.
It's not a sensible idea for you to be doing this.
Exactly.
The dad's busy with his own shit.
Yeah, and so now they would have no parents. She kills
Yeah,
him.
So they're all orphans. He's literally dead. She replaces the picture of the mom
I
with
know,
a picture
like
of her.
snappy. She was
Like, she
on it.
came with it.
Yeah.
Like she must have done.
It was
She-
in the carriage.
I mean, kudos to her. She had a plan. She
She
saw
did.
it through, and like power to the woman.
She technically accomplished it.
I was booing out loud. She replaced the picture, and I was like,
You
"Boo! Fuck
Go
you.
home.
Go the fuck
Nobody
home."
wants you here.
And then the Ken doll does something, and I've written, yeah, I'm now attracted to that Ken doll. Like, it rubbed off on me enough.
Yeah,
I
he
was
tried to fight them.
I fancy this Ken doll now.
Yeah, because she used her magical powers to get the soldiers to like start fighting them.
Yeah. Because they dance their way out and they confront her, and there's a whole fight.
Yeah,
You get a cool.
It's a good little.
It's a great
it's
little
cute.
sequence.
Yeah. And the parrot and the cat help as well.
And then what I've got written here is OMG, WTF, I love it in caps lock, because what Catherine O'Hara does is she grabs the lily.
Oh yeah.
And she like shakes it and wishes, and she's like, I wish you would dance forever. And then Barbie
Takes her fan trick.
takes her fan, whoof, whoof, back to Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
So she gets this bewitched, and I
Yeah.
was like, fuck.
Can you
that was
imagine?
amazing.
That's the word. I remember watching it when I was young, and I was like, "That is just an awful punishment."
Yeah, I was gonna ask how you reacted to that as a child, because as an adult I was like, because then Desmond gets trapped
Yeah.
in with her and they just dance off into the distance. But I was like, they're
That's
not gonna be able
so
to eat.
inconvenient.
They're not gonna be able to sleep.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to stop. They're gonna be exhausted and like malnourished.
That's literally
and,
what I
like,
was thinking.
Withered away.
Not when
There's
I was a
gonna-
kid.
There's
but...
gonna be like gross skeletons just like dancing together, like probably with no voice because they've just like worn themselves out.
It's awful.
God,
it's
can you
horrible.
imagine coming across that?
No.
And this gorgeous, lush kingdom.
No, even when I was a kid, I was like, that would suck. I was like, man, that is rough for you guys.
And you can't even red shoes it. You can't like
Right, yeah.
chop your feet off because it's not a particular item that's
Right.
bewitched. It's
awful.
you.
It's like the worst thing, and it's like a Barbie movie, and it's like, instead of just banishing them to jail, it's like, you have to dance forever. Forever. They're
By
still
bitch.
dancing at this moment
Right
in
now.
time.
This was 2006.
Yeah.
So they're gonna just be bones and dust and God, it's really horrific. It's really awful. Feel free to use this as like a monster.
Yeah.
Like for anything.
The dancing.
The dancing duo.
Oh god, it's really horrible.
Really awful. So that's gross.
Yeah, and then she goes, and then Lacey comes in with the magic water from the Magic Kingdom or whatever,
Yes,
and
she gets
saves
a moment.
the king.
They resurrect the dead.
Yeah.
Is what they do. So
I
these
feel
women
like someone should like
have the power.
start a business with this
Do
water.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, this does whatever you need it to.
It's
Let's
kind of-
bottle it.
Overwhelmingly dangerous with its power.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that's 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Has the ability to raise the dead. Like, and Catherine O'Hara's been
Hell
like,
yeah.
if you see these 12 princesses, put them in jail. They're traitors. Their
I know.
father's dead, and they haven't like fling them in jail. But these 12 princesses now have the power to bring back the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Do not fuck
Yeah,
with
don't
them.
fuck with them.
Like, oh my god, do you think they would go down to the crypt and resurrect their mom? Oh, it should be a bit gross.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the sequel?
Maybe
Resurrecting
he
Mom.
wasn't like fully dead yet. The sequel was
Yeah, he's only most
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Barbie in the. It's always Barbie in
Yeah.
as well. I love that. I do love that.
Yeah, I don't know. I really, truly didn't watch that many of them. This was just like, I watched this one like 18 times
There
probably.
were loads. So then, the next shot we have is all the 12 princesses in a carriage with Barbie in a wedding dress on their way to the church.
Because of course she's the one that gets married.
Of course she's the one that gets married. She's like the middle child with
Blair.
the only available man.
Yeah.
It's marketable for her to get
I know, they haven't met any other men.
with no other men in this movie. It's like the reverse of the Bechdel
Yeah.
test.
It's like,
It's great.
Okay.
It's really good. There's so many female characters and so many wonderful costumes, and I bet the dolls
costumes
were
were cool,
gorgeous.
yeah.
Because they had their normal princess dresses and then,
And
they
then
had
the grey
their
ones,
ballet
yeah.
dresses.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
that.
had their grey dresses. I'm a big fan of the plain peasant outfit. Every
Yeah.
good princess needs a peasant outfit.
Yeah, they do.
Saying it.
Cinderella.
You,
a good
like
one.
all of them, you gotta have it, man.
It's a good one.
Otherwise, the princess dress doesn't have the same impact. you know?
Exactly.
You gotta go from rags to riches.
You need your
otherwise,
fairy godmother like
what's the
moment.
point?
Yeah, exactly. She gets married to Derek.
She gets married to Derek,
And she's
but,
like, I'm on time for something.
Honestly, man, I don't know what's wrong with me right now. I am quite tired. I haven't, I'm very fragile. I've been drinking a lot lately.
Same.
But I cried. I cried at Barbie's wedding. In the Barbie in the 12 Dancing Princesses.
I'm sure you might be the only one.
The music came back, and Barbie was dancing with Ken in her wedding dress, which is definitely also another doll that they sold. She was the other sisters were dancing, and
It's a beautiful moment.
the dad was
I didn't
dancing
cry,
with
though.
Lacey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this music, man! I'm gonna have to play some because this
No, it
fucking
is.
music.
It is pretty beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Like, I literally remember the movie turning on, and I was like, I hear it. It's happening again. It's like, it is lovely. Regardless of the fact they play it like 8 times throughout the
But
movie.
that's why it's so good, because
Yeah.
it's like a little motif. It's
Yeah.
like...
It's not too long. It's great.
I
Good
cried.
stuff.
I was crying.
I believe you.
I nearly messaged you. I was like, Shannon, I'm crying at this fucking Barbie movie. And I've seen a fair few Barbie movies, as I've said, and I didn't cry at any of them. I loved them. I
Yeah,
thought they were
sure.
genuinely great.
Yeah. The Pegasus one was a bit...
I haven't seen the Pegasus
It's a
one.
bit dodgy. Just the through line. You were like, what is the goal with this movie? Where are we trying to get? But it was still good. This one has a really nice through line.
It honestly does.
Yeah.
It's very well set up. You know exactly who the characters are that you need to care about, and you do care about them because they're given enough traits that you can relate to them.
Yeah, exactly.
The dresses are gorgeous. The music's beautiful. The villain is wonderful.
There's animals.
There's animals. And because you know what? Sometimes when I rewatch 1950 Cinderella, the Disney version, and it cuts to the because most of that movie is animal slapstick. And
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm watching it and all the interactions with the mice and the cat, and I'm like, fucking kill me now. A little bit sometimes, because I'm just that little bit too old for it now. But this movie was genuinely like, they cut to the animals bit, and the animal bits were never too long.
No,
they
were
funny
short.
because the animals could talk, and they had interesting voices and strong motivations.
The parrot's voice.
Interesting voices.
Emphasis on interesting.
But like, and they have their own little character arcs as well. Like the monkey gets his tail trapped in a mouse trap because he's trying to pluck the feathers out of the parrot, and I'm like, no.
The parrot's like, the purple ones are my favorite.
And then the cat's there, and he's like, thanks, tiger.
Yeah.
And the cat's like, rawr. Like, yay!
You're like, woohoo, everybody.
Friendship.
Yeah,
Because they had a whole beef as well. The cat and the parrot were after each other the entire movie, and then he rescues him at the end.
Yeah, and they like help destroy one of the like guards together.
Yeah.
It's great.
It for an hour and 22 minutes, it's very well written.
Good material.
Like,
it's a lot of material to put
solid.
in there.
And it's funny, there was a joke at the beginning that said like, here in this kingdom known for its potatoes and peasants.
Yeah.
And I was like, lol!
What? Yeah.
It's really good. I'm crying at this movie. I said I'm like 98% sure it's the soundtrack's fault. My heart was genuinely warmed after watching this movie.
I believe it.
Like, Shannon was like, I'm probably gonna have to do a Barbie movie. And I was like, that makes sense. You are like 12. And
Hey, I didn't even see that many, okay? This was just like, I watched this so many times. It's great.
And I was like, okay, I'm on board with a Barbie movie. I can do a Barbie movie. I was expecting, you know, to be entertained because it's a Barbie movie.
Yeah.
But this one was great.
I'm telling you, it's a good ass movie.
Great.
It's like it's a
Like,
film.
If you have kids, or if you're like, and I wasn't drunk watching this movie either. I was just on tea.
Because I was sober.
I was sober
Having a
and
great
I
time.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't.
With my 4-minute clips of the movie over and over again.
I mean, I had the DVD. I had invested previously. It's honestly great. Like, I didn't have to take a break. I didn't have to like go and think about my life.
You're invested
for a bit. It honestly, it's solid. It's absolutely
You want to
solid.
know what happens next in this movie.
You do.
That's what I'm saying with that weird Pegasus one. I was like, I have no idea where we're going. Or anything. But like with this one, each scene you're like, oh no, oh no.
Genuinely.
Yeah, it's good.
You're reactive and it's emotive and like you're on board and it's just great. So like, how did you like rent it from a library? Were you given it?
No,
as a
I had
gift?
it. I think my grandma gave it to me because I did ballet when I was younger, and she was like, "Oh, my granddaughter's a princess," and just gave me this to watch, and I was like, "Eh," and then I watched it, and I was like, "Wow,
yeah." I love it. it's like a hidden gem, and I know it's not that hidden because it's Barbie and it was a whole franchise.
Well, it is hidden in the sense that like most people would watch Rapunzel or like the more well-known Barbie movies.
Yeah, or like the more
there's like fairy ones, like Fairytopia.
Fairytopia, yeah, that was an advert on my DVD.
Was it?
I thought it had started, and it was like, just across the rainbow in a magical land, you can visit
I've seen that one, to be fair.
Fairytopia. And I was like, oh, this isn't the movie.
Dude, those aren't bad either. Those ones, the Fairytopia ones, they live in like tulips. It's like Nemo with the anemone.
Well, I assume it's and this is the thing about Barbie movies, you guys. And I really hope other people come on with more Barbie movies so we get to expand this franchise.
Yeah.
But right now I'm going to tell you everything I know. So, Barbie was doing shit way before Disney was doing shit.
Yeah.
So, Disney jumped on Tinkerbell as a franchise and created a fairy franchise. I'm willing to put money on the fact that Barbie did it first.
I am as well.
Because Barbie were cracking into a market that hadn't been touched.
Yeah.
They were choosing stories that hadn't been told by the bigger animation studios.
I remember those movies very well.
By doing so, they were very exciting to watch. I was like, fuck, an animated version of the Nutcracker? Bring it fucking on. And it's great.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I wrote about it in my review. Head to my Tumblr if you want to find out. But I remember being really entertained by it. And they did Rapunzel years before Tangled came out. And don't sue me, Disney, but I'm pretty sure you stole some stuff from the fucking Barbie Rapunzel. Yeah. Because there's stuff like the original fairy tale, has like eyes gouged out and like death and all of that shit, which is in neither adaptation, unfortunately. But the fairy tale never mentions that she's a painter, and both the Barbie and the Tangled
do that.
Do it as
they write a whole song about it.
Yeah.
So I was just curious as to what people had said, back in 2006. And the first review was 2 months ago. No. And there were multiple ones from 2 months ago, like 6 months ago, like it has never stopped.
God.
And it's some man named Ian, I'm assuming.
Amazing.
And he says, this is one of the best films that humanity has ever been able to produce. It astounds me how few brilliant minds were able to muster up the brain power to create this movie. I have never loved anything more in my entire existence. If I was only permitted to watch this movie and none others for the rest of my life, I would die a happy man. If you haven't seen this, you're an uncultured, vile, and an idiot. Good day. And 13 people found this helpful. And I'm like, who are you?
If you're listening,
this was 2 months ago.
Kudos to you,
man. This was June of 2019.
And this came out in 2006.
There were more.
Over 10 years
There
ago.
were so many more.
How great! Barbie is alive and well.
Yeah.
The fandom is out there.
Honestly,
really?
There were so many reviews. I had to click out, and there's all these people just raving about it.
Honestly, though, I think what it is
but here we are.
Well, exactly, raving about it, crying over it.
Yeah.
I think what it is people go to a Barbie movie, something that feels like it should be so capitalist,
like a SpongeBob movie kind of thing, where you're expecting what
they're good.
They are. That's what I'm saying. But I'm sure parents went to those and they're like, ugh, SpongeBob. I hear this in the back of my house all the time.
Yeah, just something Barbie was a doll first. Doll first. So to watch a movie based off a toy is always suspicious.
Yeah.
Weirdly marketable. Transformers.
It's and Thomas the
Tank Engine, I think was a book first.
Yeah, I think so as well. And then probably a toy, and then probably a TV show. Which we call him Thomas the Train. We've had this discussion. We won't get back into it.
So in America, they call Thomas the Tank Engine, which is, what he is.
I think. That's what I called him.
Thomas the Train.
Or Thomas the Choo-Choo Train. I honestly think... Anyway.
Alright. So, if you are American and listening, please email us, tweet us, Instagram us on how you referred to Thomas the Tank Engine in your home country, in your state.
We already had this conversation about Nokia.
Do not even. Nokia, the phone brand that you can throw at the wall and will never die, How do you pronounce it, Shannon?
Nokia.
Nokia. And it's a Finnish brand, and we asked a Finnish person, Vera, if you're listening, this is a shout out to you, because you were on the side of Nokia, and she's Finnish.
No, I asked my American friend to send me a voice note, and I heard her go, Nokia, and I heard her boyfriend in the back go, no, it's not, and then it cut out. And I was like, well, then I just don't know. Maybe it's just us.
I think it's just you. I think you went through life just renaming things as you saw fit. And actually, the rest of America does call him Thomas the Tank Engine.
No, they
and
don't.
Nokia. It's just you,
It's
Shannon.
Thomas the Choo Choo Train. I'm 100% positive.
That's like what a 5-year-old would refer to it as.
Well,
if
who
they'd
wasn't
never...
5 when they watched that?
Maybe we should do it. There are movies.
I didn't watch him, really.
No, I never really watched him. He was for boys.
Yeah, he was blue.
He was blue, so it wasn't for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Tune in soon. There's going to be a gender debate.
Is there?
About movies from your childhood.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
There's a lot to talk about there.
So much to unpack there. But in terms of Barbie movies...
I mean, I can't... Because I have a twin. So we would watch a lot of the same movies, like, together.
Your
like
twin's male, I feel like.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Talk, point that
I have a
out.
twin brother. So, like, we would watch a lot of the same movies. And I can't remember for the life of me if, like, he would be there while I was watching these Barbie movies or not. Because I would watch, like, Rescue Heroes with him, even though they were quote-unquote boy movies.
Yeah.
But...
So would he watch the Barbie movies with you? And to be honest, he would probably get quite a lot from them.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing with the whole, like, boy movies versus girl movies when you were a child. It's like, if you sat anybody in front of this movie, they'd probably enjoy it somewhat.
Yeah. And it's only if you've been taught to dislike things that are purposefully pink or purposefully associated with something like Barbie.
Right. Well, did you see, there was this thing on Twitter about the lady who, like, first started gender reveal parties when you're pregnant?
Yes.
And she was like, well, I started this and my daughter wears tuxedos and
has short hair.
Yeah.
And, like...
And she was like, so it doesn't really
it's
matter.
fun, but also all of you need to calm down.
Yeah, because, you know, you're not meant...
is not a thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh my god, I just stumbled across pictures of the Barbies. I fucking love Barbies, you guys.
Oh yeah, I like had the I would change their outfits, I would do their hair, I would like look up things where you could like I would cut their hair, which was tragic. I did a very good job on one of them, and then I didn't really cut any of the others because I ruined whatever her name was, Persephone. I don't know what it was. It was something along those lines where you're like, that's not a name.
The names in this are very weird as well. You've got
Genevieve.
Genevieve makes sense, but then you've got let me go through.
Well, Blair's okay. I have a friend named Blair, actually.
Ashlyn.
That's a name? What do you mean that's a weird name? I know it's like 8 people.
So Blair, Courtney, Delia, Edelyn.
These are literally all names I've heard.
Hadley.
Edelyn and Hadley I've not heard. Or Delia.
I know a Hadley.
There's a store called Delia's in America, but that's
from
different.
Hadley.
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah. Ilsa. Okay.
Ilsa?
Yeah. Here's where I was getting at. Janessa.
That's not a name.
That sounds like the child from Twilight.
Or a disease.
Yeah. Kathleen is fine. Lacey is fine. I'm mainly referring to Janessa. Like, that sounds like a made-up name.
It sounds princessy, though. It's like
does.
Persephone.
They're all very... Persephone is such a funny name. Edelyn. Do you know an Edelyn?
No, I know an Adeline.
Yeah.
Or a... Nope. That's all I got.
Not a name set. So yeah, and the men are called like Fallon, but then they're also called like Derek and Desmond.
Fallon.
But no, the Barbie movies, I can't remember if we ever finished that thought. But the Barbie movies are fucking great, and they tapped into a market that Disney weren't going into. So they were covering all of these these stories that Disney just didn't do.
Yeah.
It's not,
and now Disney just keeps remaking stuff, so
Barbie
Barbie could have a leg up on them if they start inventing some new things.
Yeah.
Are there more I'm sure there are. Are they continuously making Barbie movies?
Oh, almost definitely.
I mean, they have to be.
If
There's probably going to be a real life version at some point. It's going to be like, what's in it, Kate Upton as Barbie or something. Actually, no.
So creepy.
It'd have to be like Margot Robbie or something.
Yeah,
somebody who looks like a Barbie.
Because it depends which studio was doing it, and it depends who their target audience was.
Yeah, but they've been coming out with like the quote unquote real life Barbies. The ones that they're like plus sized and whatnot.
No, yeah, Barbie.
So like you never know.
We were in Hamleys the other day, weren't we? And like we got to the Barbie aisle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave.
We were like,
I was like,
they're here. They made them.
look at these Barbies, and everyone was like, Emily, we had to go catch a tube. And I was like, look at them.
Well, I was like, Emily, they came out. That was like 2 years ago.
And
I
was
think.
like,
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm 27.
That's
I
fair.
haven't been up on the Barbie market recently. I'm not
You-
aware.
that makes it sound like I've been scrolling the Barbie web pages or something. When I was younger, we would go to the movie theater or like rent a movie or whatever. It'd be like Toy Story or Monsters Inc. or Shrek. All that stuff came out when I was like 7 or 8 or whatever. And so, or maybe even Shrek 2 came out when I was 5.
Fuck.
6. I mean, I was 6.
So did you go to the cinema to see it?
I doubt it.
What was the first movie you saw in cinemas?
I don't know. I really have no idea.
I saw my first movie because it was Pocahontas.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'll ask
I wouldn't
Whittles.
know, man. And I know because it came out the same year as Toy Story. Because-
Pocahontas?
Yep.
No way.
Yes, it did. Because I went to see Pocahontas at the cinema, and we went to McDonald's, and,
And then you went-
in McDonald's was a Mr. Potato Head.
That's too good. But what I was saying is like it's so good about those movies because the adults enjoy them as well. And
Yes.
it's not like they have to drag their kids to a movie, or not even drag their kids,
And
drag
it's not
themselves
like,
into a movie.
Yeah.
And then you watch Toy Story like decades later, and there's like innuendos in there, tons of them.
Jokes you never got.
Yeah.
It's the true meaning of family entertainment without being crass or like rude.
Too far, yeah.
They're able to entertain the adults whilst also entertaining the children.
That the Barbie movie is not one of it's not one of those movies that your dad and mom would drag you to and be like, let's enjoy this. Like your dad,
Yeah.
My dad would not like this movie.
No, it's very true. They're not really like family entertainment
No.
in the same way that
It's-
the bigger studios are, but they knew their market.
There's honestly like
Oh man.
so many more reviews about how riveting this movie was.
But I cannot stress enough how much I enjoyed it.
Neither could they.
I mean, perhaps I didn't enjoy it as much as Ian.
Right, but like who
But-
within 2 months has written this review, and who within the past 2 months has been like, that was helpful.
Like, I don't actually know what the animation studio was. Let's see if I can... Mattel Entertainment. Mattel's a
No
toy
idea
company,
what
isn't
that
it?
is. Yeah, maybe they branched out once Barbie was killing it.
Yeah, and fair play to them because the animation really isn't that bad,
Yeah.
and it's a hell of a ride. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. I had so much fun. I
Oh.
really did. And I haven't
Like-
revisited this movie in like a decade probably.
Has it like unlocked like memories?
I'm a new woman. I am a new woman, yeah.
It's honestly like roll your eyes as much as you want, listeners. Barbie.
Oh yeah, like
movies
we're
are great.
there's part of us that are half joking, but the
Yeah.
movie is fucking good.
The movie's great.
Like let alone like it's a Barbie movie.
yes,
It's a good movie.
it's a great movie.
I'm not gonna deny it.
Like, if you have to show your kids something and you don't want to disrespect their intelligence or their imagination, but
Yeah.
you still want to pander to their, like, gender normative societal values,
and weird accents.
Barbie's where it's at.
Barbie's the one to go to.
This was genuinely a joy. I laughed, I cried. And now I'm gonna furiously Google all the dresses on the dolls.
Yeah.
Because they're gorgeous.
They're great.
I've been Emily Slade. You can find me on Twitter at EmilySlade1, on Instagram at EmilySlade001. You can find this podcast on Twitter at WhyThisFilm. You can find us on Instagram at WhyThisFilm. You can email into us at whythisfilmpodcast@gmail.com, and you can find us on Facebook at WhyThisFilmPodcast. We are all over the place, consistently posting, because I'm currently unemployed. Where can we find you, Shannon?
I don't know. My Instagram is shenanigans2147 because I'm just hilarious.
Classic.
And I think my Twitter is ShannonKing2147. I think that's about all I got.
Nice. Have you got anything you want to plug?
So I'm in the new, they're remaking Game of Thrones, and I'm the lead, so you can find me on
They
that.
wrote a part for me.
For me, yeah. A new role. Yeah, I'm the dragon, actually. No, yeah.
It follows the dragon from that last episode when he flew off.
Yeah, sure.
And Shannon voices the dragon.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
I would do it.
Like, you lay the corpse of your former master
Yeah.
down on the ground.
I'd be like, peace!
You go off on adventures, and it's voiced by Shannon King.
I-
Someone pitch that to Netflix right now.
No, I do it. No, I don't have anything to plug yet.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
No, thank you for having me.
It's
It's so
been
much fun.
a joy.
And now I'm drunk.
I'm very drunk. And we're drunk. We will see you next time on Why This Film. Bye!
We watched
The film and we talked about it, but now it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back again with another movie that makes you wanna ask why.
Why?